Coming up on AgweekTV, rogue grain trader Hunter Hansen is charged in federal court. Farmers get advice on prevented plant and crop insurance.
South Dakota soybean farmers host trade missions to look beyond China for new exports.
And we'll look at the collateral damage the trade war is having on the canola market.
Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Michelle Rook. This week we take you to the Sandhills Ranch Expo here in Bassett, Nebraska. This is the largest ranch-oriented show in the United States and is located in the heart of cattle country. So the 250-plus exhibits focus on livestock and all types of forage and hay equipment. The show is also solely run by volunteers, and the profits go to support the community, youth groups, and scholarships. Joining us here from the Expo Committee member Jay Stewart. Jay, 30th year that you've been doing this show here, and one of the unique parts is its ranch orientation.
We call it one of the largest ranch-oriented trade shows, definitely in Nebraska and maybe the United States. Largely ranch-only oriented type products here at the Expo. So it's haying equipment, cattle handling facilities, it might be stock trailers, and there are some other vendors as well that, maybe it's feeds and pharmaceuticals or there's ATVs, there's loan institutions, there's insurance companies, everything involved in the ranching industry.
Let's talk a little bit about the conditions in the area. A lot of people did go through the flood. How's the recovery process been?
It's slow. There's people talking today. Whether it's the crop conditions or range conditions or meadow conditions or the roads and infrastructure, everything is, everybody's in the same boat, I guess, but it sure has slowed things up.
Looks like good grass conditions, good hay conditions, though, in the area.
Very good. There is some meadows that are drowned out, but the hills are going to produce a lot of grass this year. Putting up hay there's going to be some issues with that. What I see out on the meadows looks really good, although there are some drowned out spots.
Well, we enjoy being here. Thanks for having us for the 30th. That is Jay Stewart joining us here from the Ranch Expo. South Dakota's new sales and use tax rebate program is being described as an incentive for livestock development, not a bribe for the counties. That's according to State Secretary of Agriculture Kim Vanneman. She says when a livestock facility is built, the sales and other taxes from materials and services are rebated back to the county to use for infrastructure or other needs. She says that benefits the entire economy.
It's a win-win for livestock development and increasing the economic development that we have in our state, and it helps the counties we know all counties are financially strapped, and so it's good.
The tax incentive is being offered by the Governor's Office of Economic Development. Commissioner Steve Westeros says the decision to pursue these projects, though, is still completely under local control. The final planting dates for corn and soybeans have passed in the region, but farmers are still making crop insurance and planting decisions. Crop insurance agent Glenda Blendert says prevented plant payments on corn versus soybeans have played into those decisions. She says farmers that are taking prevented plant have 72 hours to report that to their agent.
Look at where you're at for acres, try to determine if it makes sense to keep planting or not now that we're past the final plant date. You're going to have to run the numbers to see if financially you think you can make more planting beans than just stay, and definitely don't be mudding this crop in. It's not going to pay.
She says complicating the process has been the confusion about the MFP program and how the disaster bill will impact the prevented plant payment. Blendert is doubtful the buy-up would be at 90% for PP, but says there is no clear answer yet. Livestock producers are also hoping for more flexibility with the prevented plant program when it comes to harvesting forages and cover crops for feed. Representative Dusty Johnson of South Dakota and Angie Craig of Minnesota have introduced the Feed Act. The legislation gives farmers and ranchers flexibility to help alleviate feed shortages due to drought or prevented plant due to extreme moisture. It would allow producers to harvest, hay, graze, or chop a cover crop before November 1st in the event of a feed shortage. The waiver allowed would also mean producers would not have to take a further discount on their crop insurance. I'll be back later from the Sandhills Ranch Expo in Bassett, Nebraska, but first, Rose is back in the studio with more on a very familiar short-line equipment name that is making a comeback in the industry.
For home delivery of AgWeek, log on to agweek.com or call 800-811-2580.
Farmers take pride in growing safe, affordable, nutritious food. And since over 90% of U.S. farms are family or individually owned, keeping land and animals healthy makes sense for all of us. If you have questions about the food you eat, talk to the people who grow it. North Dakota farmers and ranchers are your best source for reliable facts on food and farming. Visit findourcommonground.com and become part of the food conversation today. Brought to you by the North Dakota Soybean Checkoff.
Add more bushels to your hopper and money to your pocket by harnessing the power of air with Crary Wind Systems. Whether your beans are chest high or barely off the ground, Crary offers two solutions that add a constant stream of high-velocity air to quickly feed crop back to the auger, eliminating bunching, reducing shatter loss, and increasing your ground speed. Don't let crop conditions dictate your yield. Check out the Crary Air Reel or Crary Wind System today.
Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley source for Batco. Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley Batco dealer.
Mother Nature doesn't always cooperate. So when conditions are right, be ready with genuine Case IH parts from Titan Machinery. Only genuine Case IH parts are engineered to keep your equipment running at peak efficiency when you're running around the clock. Don't risk your bottom line with off-brand parts that don't meet the same standards. Visit your local Titan Machinery dealership today to find out why genuine Case IH parts offer the best value and performance for your operation.
When you think about it, productivity starts at planting. So it's time to rethink how productive your planter can be. We did with the new Case IH 2000 Series Early Riser Planter. We rethought your row unit so it's tougher, more accurate. We rethought your meter, took the most precise technology, factory installed it. We rethought every inch of the Case IH Early Riser Planter to make it the most productive planter around. And if you think about it, that's exactly what you want.
A young grain trader has agreed to plead guilty to federal wire fraud and money laundering charges for cheating several farmers and ag businesses out of more than $11 million. Despite prosecutors' concerns, the court has released Hunter Hansen under strict rules, confined to his father's farm until his next court date. Mikkel Pates has an update from the ongoing case from Bismarck.
Up to this point, Hansen has been in civil and criminal cases in counties in North Dakota. Now he's in federal court.
22-year-old Hunter Hansen of Leeds, North Dakota is accused of defrauding more than 60 farmers, elevators, and commodity brokers with bogus commodity sales. He is expected to agree to a guilty plea in federal court in Bismarck on July 30th. The federal charges have already replaced some of the state charges in North Dakota. Hansen also faces several civil lawsuits.
Federal prosecutors asked that Hansen be detained or held without bond, fearing that he or his money might disappear. For Ag Week, this is Mikkel Pates in Bismarck, North Dakota.
You can read much more about the ongoing case in Ag Week magazine or agweek.com. The region has been home to some important developments and very big names in ag equipment over the years. Steiger, Bobcat, and Concord are a few that come to mind. And now, as Mikkel Pates found, the Amity brand of seeding tools is bringing back the storied Concord name.
I didn't realize how overwhelmingly positive the name Concord was until just recently.
The Concord air seeder was born out of the need for farmers to cut costs. That coincided with the farm crisis of the 1980s, and it was groundbreaking technology.
All the stories were, this is crazy, this is the wrong way to plant. And it just happened to produce fabulous crops.
Howard Dahl and his brother Brian come from a family with an impressive ag equipment history. Their father, Eugene, was chairman of the board for the famed Steiger Tractor Company. Their grandfather, E.G. Melroe, developed and grew the Bobcat skid steer loader. Darrell Justison, who was Concord's vice president of marketing, says instead of 4 to 6 passes over a field, the Concord drill cut that to 1 or 2, saving a lot of time, money, and moisture.
The farmers responded extremely well to it because when interest rates are 18% and you're struggling to find a way to make a profit. They were looking for answers.
Willard Hill of Veblen, South Dakota bought one of the first Concord air seeders built. He still uses it to this day.
It saved trips over the field, and we've been very satisfied with the yields we get using this tool, and yeah, it's been a good piece of equipment.
A farmer came up to me and said, we were on the verge of bankruptcy in 1985 when we bought the Concord. It saved our farm. I just can't thank you enough. And we heard that over and over and over, that buying the Concord changed their success on their farm.
After selling Concord to Case Corporation in 1996, the Dahl brothers built Amity Technology, a powerhouse in sugar beet, soil testing, and tillage equipment. But Case let the Concord name fall out of use, and recently Dahl purchased it back. Starting in 2020, all air drills and air carts built by Amity in Wahpeton will once again carry the Concord name. This is Mikkel Pates for AgWeek.
You can read much more on this in the next AgWeek magazine or at agweek.com. Coming up on AgweekTV, we'll go back to Michelle in Nebraska with a look at how some soybean farmers are trying to increase their exports, and later how a dairy operation is helping its neighbors.
How can one tillage tool handle most field conditions, residue types, and tillage practices? It takes a Renegade, the Summers VRT Renegade. Switch from vertical to aggressive tillage and anywhere in between. Adjust blade angles, tillage depth, and more on the go, all from an iPad. Get the tillage results you want, like only the Summers VRT Renegade can. For more information or a demo, contact your Summers dealer.
At Superior Grain Equipment, we're committed to quality and service, offering you the best in grain storage and dryers for any size operation. Our experts will work with you to determine the most efficient and economical storage solution for your needs. We help protect your bottom line and your future with the industry's best bins and warranties. Make the superior choice for protection today and tomorrow with Superior Grain Equipment.
This is Dennis Belisky reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On-site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
Luckin Trucks and Parts sells quality used parts for all makes and models. With over 50 acres of trucks and parts and new inventory arriving daily. Family owned and operated since 1966, Luckin's specializes in the sale of quality used medium to heavy duty truck parts, as well as pre-owned trucks, trailers, and construction equipment. If it's on a truck, we got it. Call us today and let us get you your part.
When planting season comes around, time is precious and you don't have a moment to waste. This spring, keep your planters rolling with a user-friendly seed tender from North Star Ag. We have seed tenders for every sized operation from Meridian, Unverferth, and J&M. North Star Ag also sells a variety of Valmar spreaders, the leader in air boom delivery, and is a full-service Meridian hopper bin dealer. Visit NorthstarAg.com to see our complete new and used equipment inventory or give us a call.
With China buying less U.S. soybeans due to the trade war, soybean farmers in the region are hosting trade missions to help increase the amount existing customers are purchasing and to find new export customers. With the help of the U.S. Soybean Export Council, the Shires of Salem, South Dakota, hosted grain buyers at their farm to talk about why they're a reliable supplier. The Shires hosted these soybean buyers from Southeast Asia.
We have to find other markets to ship our soybeans, and that's why the trade team's here today.
These customers have already been stepping up in lieu of China.
Every one of these countries are all buying more. In non-China markets, our exports are up 45%, but it has to be more.
So they're investing ag trade promotion funds from the trade mitigation package to target soybeans in this area.
Basically, our goal is to get a 100% market share in every non-China market to make up all of that lost demand. We know the farmers here in the upper Midwest, they were really the ones taking it hardest due to the tariffs that China imposed on U.S. soybeans.
While this trade team is already buying U.S. soybeans, area farmers will also be hosting several teams from emerging markets to develop future sales.
But it takes a while to get the logistics and manpower and transportation, everything figured out.
However, in both cases, Shire says building relationships is the key.
To see on our farms, go to our elevators, go to ports, see our infrastructures, and see that we can supply them with a consistent, high-quality soybean.
We think that's the way it should go, from the ground level, rather than wait for the governmental level to help and support.
Trade disruptions in China and Canada that impacted the soybean market conversely spilled over into the canola market. Canola is a huge crop in northern North Dakota and Canada, and as Mikkel Pates found out, even though canola wasn't directly hit by tariffs, it suffered right along with the soybean market.
Well, you're talking $1,500 a truckload that its market's dropped in the last 4 months.
Kevin Wisłowski grows canola near Langdon, North Dakota. Chinese trade issues have spilled over into the canola market. As China quit buying soybeans from the U.S. and canola from Canada, U.S. canola growers had hoped it would benefit them. Instead, it's pushing prices down. Wisłowski says that's costing his farm 6 figures this year.
It's hugely impacted by the price of soybeans. Canola oil and soybean oil compete against each other, so whatever the price of soybeans is generally the price of canola.
Canola hasn't had quite the severe drop as soybeans have percentage-wise, but it's definitely hurt.
Bradley Paulson has been in farming and now crop marketing all his life. He suspects China has stockpiles of vegetable oil that would help them weather a trade war. In the U.S., Paulson says there's talk of an MFP payment for canola, but nothing's been released yet.
With the announced market loss payments by the Trump administration, I actually had some customers take canola seed back and brought soybean seed home.
In the meantime, Paulson says there's really not much canola growers can do until the situation with China gets resolved.
Hopefully that in the long run it'll work out, but there's some sting here.
In northeast North Dakota, this is Mikkel Pates for Ag Week.
And you can read more about this story in the next Ag Week magazine or at agweek.com. Planting is wrapping up around the region, so now we just need some sunshine and growing degree units to get this crop back on track. While we get that, we'll have your agri-weather outlook coming up.
Weather portion of Ag Week now. It's been well established how wet it has been this spring and into the early summer across the corn and bean belt of the United States. Here in the northern plains, though, the North Dakota Ag Weather Network revealing a little bit of a different story. Rainfall since mid-April, 415, showing only around 1.5 to 2.5 isolated 3-inch plus amounts across northern North Dakota, northern Minnesota, and then across the southern part of this same area. It's much heavier, more like 4 to 5 inches at many spots. That's why southern North Dakota has been so wet. That, of course, extends down into South Dakota. Central and northern North Dakota, same thing in Minnesota, has actually been a little dry this spring. Percentage of normal rainfall, more than 100%, meaning wetter than average across the south. But look at these numbers, a lot of 69, 65, 54, and then a lot of 28, 38, very dry conditions across the northern part of the area. At least it has not been hot so far this summer. Jet stream meandering, but generally keeping the heat well down south. There'll be some 70s and 80s and a stray 90 through the Corn Belt, mostly 60s, 70s, and a stray 80 in the northern plains over this week anyway. The really cool stuff is staying mostly up in Canada. The really hot weather is going to be down in the deserts, and it'll be like that. As far as rainfall goes, a couple of areas of concentrated thunder showers in the Rockies, and you guessed it, the corn bean belt, northern plains. This week's showers should be mostly of the nuisance variety. Will continue to be relatively mild to slightly warm across the ag areas of the United States next week. No real heat is expected for the rest of June. There is some evidence that we may get a slow-moving, meandering low into some part of the northern plains, Great Lakes area, which could provide some locally heavy rainfall, and much of the Corn Belt will continue to be wet.
Do you have a vested interest in land?
The upcoming Great Plains Land Expo is a must-attend event for landowners, developers, mineral interest owners, farm operators, and investors.
Join us on Wednesday, June 26 in Fargo as we hear from a variety of industry leaders speaking on topics relating to land, energy, and minerals.
You'll discover ways to capitalize on agriculture and energy opportunities and learn how to become a better steward of our natural resources.
Early bird rates are available, so register today at GreatPlainsLandExpo.com.
Martinson Ag Risk Management offers a variety of crop marketing and crop insurance packages to our customers. With over 40 years of experience, our dedicated staff works hard to ensure you get the best advice on crop insurance, marketing, and risk management. Contact Randy or any of the staff at Martinson Ag Risk Management today at 701-205-4200 or visit us online at martinsonag.com.
Steffes Group, selling land and the equipment to farm it since 1960. If you're interested in selling or have questions about our auction process, head to our website at steffesgroup.com to contact us at any one of our 4 locations located throughout the Midwest. You can also visit and subscribe to our YouTube channel to view all of our auction previews and recaps to stay up to date on the market in your area.
With the all-new GreenFit system from Reichart, plug and play is finally a reality when using John Deere AutoTrack guidance with existing new products like the Challenger 1000 series or all-new C-Series Rogators from Butler Machinery. GreenFit is an authorized navigation interface that utilizes existing John Deere AutoTrack guidance systems to steer most Challenger tractors and sprayers. GreenFit eliminates the worry of learning and converting to a new steering system when buying an industry-leading Challenger from Butler Machinery. Learn more about GreenFit at butlermachinery.com/greenfit.
DTE is your headquarters for flatbeds and service bodies for your truck. Whether you need to haul bales, heavy commercial equipment, or take every tool with you, DTE has the truck equipment you need. We have over 200 units on hand or will custom build a flatbed or service body on your truck.
Like this Dewey's bale bed with dual lift cylinder arms. Lift, load, and handle your bales with ease.
When you need help at the farm, your business, or in the oil patch, count on DTE. DTE, let us build a truck for you.
Many people don't realize the impact a large livestock operation can have on the local economy and how it can benefit nearby farmers. Jenny Schlecht visited the Van Bedoff Dairy near Carrington and has more in the third and final part of our Legendary series.
The impact that the dairy has is people often don't see it. There's such a variety of commodities that a cow can consume and utilize.
J.W. Schroeder is a retired NDSU Extension dairy specialist. He also grew up on a dairy farm just a few miles from the Van Bedoff Dairy near Carrington. It's the biggest one in North Dakota, and Schroeder says the dairy has a lot of value for the region.
They use most of the wheat mids that are produced here in the Carrington area from the pasta plant. They're also consuming Hillsboro's beet pulp.
They also use byproducts from the ethanol and canola industries. The corn and silage the Van Bedoffs use is harvested from local fields, and in return, the Van Bedoffs cows provide nutrients to local fields from their manure.
As livestock businesses, we use the feed the grain farmers are growing, so it's a win-win, I would say, to bring livestock to communities.
Tyson Rosenau farms about 6 miles east of the Van Bedoff Dairy. He does some custom planting for them and sells them corn. He also gets fertilizer from their cows.
It can't compare to any synthetic fertilizer that we have. The liquid is the best that you can find. The solid is a good supplement. When we put that liquid manure out there, that really changes the ground in a hurry and changes the ground more in a few years than what most farmers can do in a lifetime.
Anytime a guy can add value to any of your crops, whether it's alfalfa, corn, or any of the byproducts and co-products within the state, it's nice to see value added.
And adding value for farmers is adding value for North Dakota. Near Carrington, this is Jenny Schlecht for Ag Week.
This week's Crop Stop takes us to Dawson in central North Dakota. A wet spring followed by a cool early summer means crops there are 2 to 3 weeks behind schedule and not catching up yet. Mikkel Pates found Neil Fanta breaking up some land he just purchased, turning it into a habitat for deer and pheasants. He says his crops are behind because of the cool wet weather.
On our farm, we grow corn, soybeans, wheat, and canola. There's corn that's getting some pretty good size to it, and it's coming along pretty good, and there's some that's just coming out of the ground. Kind of the same as everything. Soybeans, a lot of the beans just popping out of the ground, and we're normally way further along than that. It's going to be interesting at the end of the year.
Fanta also runs Elite Ag Solutions, selling Pioneer seed and chemicals. Still ahead on Ag Week TV, what you can do to help protect pollinators.
When you think about it, productivity starts at planting. So it's time to rethink how productive your planter can be. We did with the new Case IH 2000 Series Early Riser Planter. We rethought your row unit so it's tougher, more accurate. We rethought your meter, took the most precise technology, factory installed it. We rethought every inch of the Case IH Early Riser Planter to make it the most productive planter around. And if you think about it, that's exactly what you want.
Luckin Trucks and Parts sells quality used parts for all makes and models. With over 50 acres of trucks and parts and new inventory arriving daily. Family owned and operated since 1966, Luckin's specializes in the sale of quality used medium to heavy duty truck parts as well as pre-owned trucks, trailers, and construction equipment. If it's on a truck, we got it. Call us today and let us get you your part.
Ag Week is excited to bring you the Ag Week app with useful features and the latest news and information right at your fingertips. Get your Ag Week news, weather, and the latest episodes of AgweekTV. Plus, see real-time information on the futures market and view local cash bids for your crops. Stay updated and take Ag Week with you wherever you are. Download the Ag Week app today.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Did you know pollinators are responsible for 1 out of every 3 bites of food we eat? But their population is threatened by a number of things, including disease, mites, and pesticides. This is National Pollinator Week, and NDSU Extension horticulturist Esther McGinnis says we're seeing the effects of pollinator problems in both ag crops and home gardens. She encourages people to plant pollinator gardens, and she has lots of information to help.
We want to nourish our pollinators by providing both nectar and pollen. So in essence, we're providing carbohydrates and proteins to them by having blooming flowers. And we want to have flowers blooming from early spring all the way through the end of fall to nourish all the different native bee species that we have.
NDSU Extension has pollinator garden information available online. Thanks for watching this week's edition of Ag Week TV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com or download the Ag Week app. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. We'll see you next week.